Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings this morning. Well, it's morning over here in D.C. As always, man, I have to thank you all. You know, your support. Many of you all are so consistent that if you don't hear from me, you know, you check on me. And if I don't hear from you, then I'm like, hopefully they're on all right, where they at, etc. So I appreciate you all. Many of you all are walking this journey with me. And you're seeing a lot of, what I'm able to bring to the table. And I want to do more. I honestly want to do more. I really am busy out here. I get off of work around 3 or 4 o'clock from time to time, and then I go to other jobs, whether for my company or side jobs. So I stay busy because I'm trying to get to that dream, that vision, that goal. But I thank you all for your patience. I thank you all for your understanding. And again, your consistency and sincerity. So I appreciate you. I look a bit haggard. Last night, one of the young guys, man, that I helped, and this is from his own words, groom in the prison system when he first came in Nottoway. He was a young guy from Norfolk. He was born in Chicago, but he was raised in the Norfolk area, and he was wild, a young soldier in his own right. And, I took a liking to the brother, man, because he had a good heart. He was a fighter, but he had a good heart, man. He gave his last, and, we maintained a bond. He got transferred. We fell out of contact. And before I made it home, I ran back into him. And for those 7 months, man, our bond, it wasn't shook. It was only strengthened. Right. So I'm in constant contact with the young brother, man. And I don't hear from him a lot, as much as I'd like to. He doesn't like to burden people. He has a large family, but he has become distant from time to time with them because of their lack of consistency in his life. He put himself in prison. He's aware of that. But he's actually the youngest. He had a twin brother who died since he's been incarcerated. He's the youngest of his siblings. And they work, they have good jobs and whatnot, but they haven't been as close. And there's the one that was closest to him, his aunt, she passed a couple of months after I got out a couple of years ago. And so, I maintain contact. I send him money, I write him, send him pictures, etc. We talk from time to time. And he called me last night around 10:30, and he told me that he had an enlarged heart, and he needs surgery. So he was asking different family members, he was asking different family members, what's their opinion, because, they told me it's a 50-50 chance, and he spoke to the counselors, and he's at Greensville right now, correctional center, and he talked to some counselors. He told one counselor, he said, man, let Brother Khalid know, man, if anything goes sideways. He said the woman kind of looked strange at him, like, raised her head, kind of in shock, and annoyed, And I'm like, man, I was there for this brother before y'all met him. I walked the yard with him. I've talked to him about family. You all appreciate him doing a good job, keeping the chemicals balanced for, cleaning the showers and the pods. You all like that he keeps a good inventory. I have a genuine love for the brother. You know what I mean? So he's been trying to get off that camp for like 2 years now, just to go to a easier spread, if you will. It's still prison, but there are some camps, road camps, as they call them, lesser prisons, where he can, kind of be relaxed. But he didn't know it. When I was there, he passed out. And we was unsure. This was during Ramadan. So I'm like, man, stop working out so hard. Like, he's fit, he's short, he's real muscular, and he loves to work out. He breaks up so many fights, and again, he attributes that, man, to me and a couple other brothers, Brother Willie, and a couple other brothers, man, who've been in his life, who've shown him, man, it's all right to help others, man, and put yourself out there. That's a great sacrifice, man, to break a fight up in prison and on the street, because you got people, man, that'll turn around and turn on you while you trying to break a fight up. So yeah. So he called me, man, and we talked, and he was like, man, all the counselors, that came and they was like, man, go get the surgery. He said, man, I got to ask a couple more people. He talked to his sisters and them, and, they had their opinions, and no one wants to say go because the doctor said it's 50-50. So no one wants the weight of failure on their chest and on their conscience. We talked. It was a long conversation. It was painful, so many people that, man, behind that wall that have died, man, and their families don't even get a chance to get to know them and their growth and their maturity. I've seen guys die, and when the COs come and collect their property, you have their roommates rummaging through, their deodorants and toothpaste and socks and drawers, trying to take what they can, and, the COs put everything in a box and send it to their families. And some of the guys, man, good guys. There was a young guy named Pimp. He had a heart attack, man. 25 years old on Nottaway, had a heart attack on the yard. And he was out there playing ball. Everybody laughed with him. He was a decent guy. I knew him from 2 compounds, man. He just had a heart attack at the end of the rec period. Just before 12 o'clock count. Fell right on the basketball court. Never got up again, And so talking to the brother, man, his name is Pop, Lil Pop. And that joint put a real weight on my chest because, like I say, he good, man. He good, he went in, and, he caught a serious charge, he was young, like I say, ripping and running through the streets. And, but since he's been in, he's made a significant change. Like, he was a gang leader, he was a gang leader, and literally just sat back one day and gave his position up, gave it up. So I don't want to be a part of this no more, man. And because he gave it up, the guy he gave it to, 2 weeks later, sent 7 guys at him. 7 guys at him, just because the guy felt slighted that he didn't earn the position. The one that had it now, he felt like, man, Pac should have, fought his way out, got beat out. But the guys around him, for the most part, they respected him. They listened to his orders, whatever they were. And so when he gave it up, the other guy having that authority was able to convince a few of the guys, man, let's jump on him. And they tried. I mean, they did, and, he broke one of their jaw, and, it was a scuffle. Like I said, young like a little Tasmanian devil, he like a little whirlwind when he get into it, But it hurt me, man, because he asked my opinion, and I gave it to him. And I said, man, what did the doctor say? And it was 4 doctors on a Zoom call. And they said, if you could live in a place where it wasn't so stress-filled, you could probably reverse it, by being calm. He eats good, but they told him having a fair diet, but being calm and allowing yourself the peace that your body needs. They said in there, you're not going to get that. They said every day you're stressed. They told him that his heart rate was lower than most, but when it beats fast, it is too rapid, and I told him it reminded me of the movie John Q with Denzel Washington. His son was in that position in the movie. He had an enlarged heart and he needed a transfer or he was going to die. And when Pac was telling me last night about that, that's what I thought of, So, yeah, that's I got about 2 hours worth of sleep last night, and, his sister moved from, I think, Philly to Norfolk. She put some money down on the house, stayed there for a month, and she was kicked out because somehow there was a scam in whoever was renting the house out, or, letting her supposedly believe she was buying the house. Same sister, had her car stolen 3 days after that. So he asked me if I knew anybody, in the Norfolk area. I'm in D.C., but I know a few people, that I was incarcerated with that live in those areas, and I'll reach out to them today because her car was stolen. This is sister. These are the things that's stressing him. He's in prison, and he's being asked to help remedy, a lot of these issues, a lot of these situations. And this is why I say, man, if we can help it, don't put burdens on people that they've not asked for and that they don't deserve, right? It's one thing to vent. It's one thing to share your pain, your struggle with someone you love and that loves you. That's our responsibility, to care for one another, to help one another. That's our responsibility. But some people will put the entire weight of their troubles on your shoulder, and you can't ever turn to them, you know? And I know many people watching this are in that position. I don't care where you are, whether you're incarcerated when you watch this or you're free, whether you're in the U.S. or across seas. Many of you all know what I'm talking about because many of you all are the pillars in your family. You are the pillars in the relationship, the friendships, your job. You are the pillars. And being the pillars, you know, pillars are supports, right? You see them in buildings, you see them in structures. They're the support. And the weight of that structure is on the pillar. And that happens, you know, but who does the pillar lean on? Well, the pillar was made strong. It was built strong, right? But it's not invincible, you know? And so for those of you who are the pillars, please know that you are appreciated by whether people around you, you know, who watch you, who are paying attention, or you're appreciated by those who understand what you're going through, whether they know you or not. That's one. Two, man, find peace. You know, sometimes just being a pillar, you could be in the communities, walking all day, giving out food, giving out clothing, helping with shelter. You can be taking care of your own children with very little to no help. You can be taking care of yourself with little to no help, right? But you care. You have a heart of gold and you care and you do what you can. But being burnt out, you know, is a reality. You know, I read that the other day. Somebody I know on Facebook put that being burnt out is a reality, you know, and it is. People are stressed. People, you know, are walking around, you know, drinking more, smoking more, trying to avoid the harsh realities of the world. And yet these people put on a brave face every day. You know, they come to work, they smile, how you doing, or whatever. You know, they wake up, they take care of their kids, they feed them, they clothe them, they send them to school, or they take care of them in the house. You know, they look out for the ones they care for, whether spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend. Man, but on the inside, there's a weight and a pain because they have very few, if any, you know, people to turn to. So please, you know, this story is real serious to me, you know, and I don't like to be mundane, you know, and repetitive, but make no mistake. You know, some people will read this and hear this that may not see any of my other stories. So sometimes I may seem repetitive in the lesson learned, but know that they are just as significant as somebody, if not everybody. Yeah, you know, we're not promised tomorrow. We're not promised tomorrow. You know, treat yourself. And that doesn't mean go out there and get some drink and some smoke. Nah, treat yourself to some real wholesome peace. Go to a park by yourself. Don't be scared to go outside by yourself. Go out there, you know, walk, you know, make sure it's safe, right? But walk, ride a bicycle, you know, when no one's around, turn on some music, man, and dance. You know, just shimmy a little bit, just shake a little bit, you know, it's all right. You know, if you can sing or you can't sing, you know, do those things that put a smile on your face without distraction or without approval. I read a book called Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. And he spoke about that because the guy, and I don't want to get a story up in case anybody wants to read the book, but Mitch Albom writes some beautiful books. But, you know, in it, one of the guys, you know, he was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, you know, and his student used to come visit him on Tuesdays, hence Tuesdays with Morrie. And it was a true story. And the guy Morrie, who was the guy that had Lou Gehrig's disease, told his former student, he said, sometimes you got to create a world in this world as long as it's legal. You know, he said, man, I find myself dancing by myself, you know, just enjoying the moments, right? So, like I said, I didn't want this one to be long-winded. I just wanted you to know why I look tired. I feel tired. Yeah. But thank you all, you know, for being here. Appreciate you. Have a good day. Peace.